Murli that started yesterday, in which BapDada was having the heart-to-heart conversation with the double foreigners. The Murli was rendered on 29th of March 1986. In the first part of the Murli, Baba was speaking to the double foreigners and had immersed all of them in the subtle region and was blessing them and was sharing that so many who have come are correct, and it is easy to it is easy for everybody to come in the subtle region than in actual at Madhuban, because subtle region is really vast, and the numbers who had come over there to Madhuban showed their zeal and enthusiasm. Baba was encouraging them. Baba had told them how the systems, customs, and beliefs are different. Despite that, the double foreigners' children fall in love with Baba and transform themselves. Also, how Bhakti in Bharat makes the persons from Bharat, the people of Bharat, to come into Gyan faster. But however, despite the differences in the Western countries, the double foreigners, amongst the double foreigners, the love changes them faster. Baba was yesterday telling them that the numbers are going to only increase in days to come, and they have to provide sustenance to others as well. So we shall take off the body from there. There was a difference in the 50 years of sustenance received by those of the Golden Jubilee and by those of the Silver Jubilee. In the same way, there will continue to be a difference for those who come later. So make them powerful in a short time. Of course, there will be their own elevated feelings anyway. However, all of you also have to help them to move forward with your relationships and connections in a short time so that they will easily have the enthusiasm and courage to move forward. So Papa is talking about providing them enthusiasm and courage to move forward when they come in connections with the new ones. This service is now going to increase a great deal. It is no longer the time to accumulate power just for yourself, because along with the power for yourself, you also have to accumulate so much power for others that you are able to give them cooperation. So this is a point, important point in Baba's instruction, that you have to become so powerful that you're able to help others as well. We may take back this message home as well. It's just not the time to empower oneself, but to empower others also. You mustn't become those who just take cooperation, but also become those who give cooperation. For those who have already been here for 2 years, those 2 years are not a small thing. You have to experience everything in a short time. You show in the picture of the tree that even the souls who come at the end definitely have to pass through the 4 stages, and that it doesn't matter whether they take 10 to 12 births or however many births. So, even those who come at the end have to experience all the powers in a short time. So Baba emphasizes that we should become complete, Sampurn, and enjoy all the powers at the earliest so that the stage of completion nears by, because the time is going to be short and they have to nonetheless pass through all the four stages. You have to experience a student life as well as being a server. So, one point again, which is applicable to us, we may take this point home. You have to experience a student life as well as being a server. Servers don't just have to give courses and give lectures. A server means constantly to give the cooperation of zeal and enthusiasm to cooperate in making others powerful. The qualities of a server: zeal, enthusiasm, and cooperation. You have to pass in all subjects in a short time. Only when you do everything at such a fast speed will you be able to reach your destination. Therefore, you have to cooperate with one another. You must not have yoga with one another. Don't start having yoga with one another. By giving constant cooperation, a cooperative soul brings others close to the Father and makes them equal. You must not make others equal to yourselves, but equal to the Father. So, what a wonderful statement. Baba says you should connect them to me, not to yourself. And it is quite frequent and possible in human interactions that people get connected to each other. This philanthropic organization which is run by sisters and brothers, it is very easy for any human being to take help and come in contact. However, Baba cautions that you, Baba's children, who come in contact with others, as such will give cooperation, zeal, enthusiasm, and they'll come close to you. And as they start feeling empowered, you should make sure that they get connected to me, not to yourself. Okay? The next important point: leave all your weaknesses here. Do not take them back with you to foreign lands. You have to become powerful souls and make others powerful. Let this determined thought be constantly in your awareness. The Baba is going to soon elaborate about this point about weakness in coming paragraphs. Well, Baba says Baba is especially giving love-filled remembrance to all the children everywhere, to the elevated souls who are constantly loving, cooperative, and powerful. BapDada's love, remembrance, and namaste. All of you have the happiness that even though there is variety, you all now belong to the one. Do you not? There are now no longer different directions. You are the elevated souls who follow God's directions. The language of Brahmins is the same. You belong to the one Father, and you have to give the knowledge of the one Father to everyone and make them belong to the Father. This is such a big and elevated family. Wherever you go, whichever country you go to, you have the intoxication that you are at home there. A service center means your home. There would not be anyone else who would have so many homes, isn't it? Baba says whichever BK center you go to, that's like your home. It's just your home, and you have so many homes hence. If anyone asks you where people of your acquaintance are, you would say that they're all over the world. Just like saying I have relatives everywhere. You know, wherever you go, there is your family. You have a right to the unlimited. You have become servers. To be a server means to be one who has all rights. So initially Baba said server means ones who gives zeal, enthusiasm and cooperation to emerge powers in others. But here Baba says to be a server means to be one who has all rights. You have this unlimited spiritual happiness. Now, every place is growing with its powerful stage. At first, it takes a little effort. Then, when a few examples are created, others who see them easily continue to move forward. Bab Dada repeatedly reminds all of you children of this elevated thought. You yourselves constantly have to maintain zeal and enthusiasm for having a remembrance and doing service and continue to move forward at a fast speed in happiness and also continue to enable others to move in the same way with zeal and enthusiasm. So Baba says, continue to progress faster in your dharana, seva, and yoga. Baba has received photos and letters from all the children everywhere who have not been able to come here physically. In response to everyone, Bap Dada is giving everyone multi-million fold love and remembrance from the heart. However, much zeal and enthusiasm you have now increase that multi-million fold. Some have even written about their weaknesses. So, Bap Dada says to them, to write to Baba means to give them to Baba. So don't keep with you anything that you have given anyway. So Baba was mentioning about those who could not arrive to Madhuban and they had sent photographs and letters. So a few of them had written about their weaknesses also in the letter. Baba says if you return it to Baba, then it belongs to Baba. You have given it. So Baba says do not keep anything with you because you have written and given it away to Baba now. So Baba says, once you have given away your weaknesses, do not recall them even in your thoughts. Important underlining point. If you have given your weaknesses, do not recall them even in your thoughts. Thirdly, never become disheartened with your own sanskars, the sanskars of the gathering, or any upheaval in the atmosphere. So empowering, isn't it? That you should not become tired or disheartened because you cannot change. You know, the old sanskar which forms a hindrance, which is which you consider that is my weakness. Baba says do not become disheartened by it. Or there are similar things that occur that can make you easily make you disheartened, such as sanskars of the gathering or the upheaval in the atmosphere. None of these should make you disheartened. Baba says here, Always experience the Father to be combined with you. From being disheartened, become powerful and continue to fly ahead. When karmic accounts are settled, it means a burden has been removed. Continue to burn away the burdens of the past in happiness. Bap Dada always cooperates with you, children. Do not think too much. Waste thoughts too make you weak. Along with that, along with thoughts, the body starts feeling weaker. People would not have appetite. People would not feel sleepy. They would experience weakness sooner or later if repeated weak thoughts are thought over time. So Baba knows this phenomenon. That's why he says, waste thoughts too make you weak. So if you have a lot of waste thoughts, read a Murli 2 to 4 times, churn it, and continue to study it. With that, one point or another will then sit in your intellect. You see, that's a great yukti, isn't it? That once we have a weak thought coming, a recollection of a weak thought or a waste thought, Baba is suggesting to read Murli 2 to 3 times, 3 to 4 times. One or the other point would stick in your head, in your intellect. So Baba says, continue to accumulate power from having pure thoughts, and waste will end. So pure thoughts will empower us, and then the waste will end because it will replace the weak thought there. So Baba says, do you understand? And the Murli ends here. So here in the later part, the second part of the Murli seems to be a much more heartier conversation than yesterday's part one. Here Baba has given many more suggestions and instructions to keep going. These definitely I feel the double foreigners would have feel empowered and moving faster. Now Baba expects them to now move faster in service and making more number of children emerge and also make them fly because now Baba has suggested a number of ways such as having to forget all their weaknesses, and that is that is also further elaborated by telling that read only 3 to 4 times when a weak thought comes. Do not overthink or consider that that's ek bar diya to diya. Once you have given it to Baba, it's Baba's. Look out. You do not have to worry more about it. And do not to feel disheartened. That's another reconciling word. You should not feel disheartened about yours, others, or anyone's, or the atmosphere's upheavals, weaknesses, or some scars. Baba further encourages them that feel at home. Any place in the world is your zone. Any Baba center is your zone. So feel home. We shall sit in a couple of moments of silence and come back for a sharing. Om Shanti. Please share your take-home messages.
Om Shanti.
Om
Thank you,
Shanti.
Baba. You, Divine Family. And today is the biggest God conversation with Baba. And my takeaway is that be a true server. And a server is means uh, the cooperating, giving cooperation. So this is what I like. And the second important message that when you have given your weaknesses, so even in your do not think in your thought that the weakness. So the given is a given. So pure and third one is a pure thought. To uh, diminishes the energy waste thought. Shanti.
One of the points where Baba mentions that do not have yoga with your cooperative souls, have yoga with Baba. And I think that's a very strong point. Sometimes, whether it is the path of service or whether it's a part of family, the Brahmin family, that we get connected with the other souls. And that's the checking point, that are we getting entangled, or we becoming free by just having one connection, and that one connection allows us to give all the values, virtues that Baba gives it to us as an instrument, and not getting attached to any other soul. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Rakiban. I was also even really thinking only about that. Um, it's we call it as a horizontal connection. Baba always says keep a vertical connection. Even sometimes he says follow father, not follow brother or follow sister. So, but here he has couched it in such a language. Don't become yogis of one another. Don't begin to have yoga with one another. That happens. We really get, when we see somebody giving good gyan or really conducting good classes and all, we horizontally have a relationship and we maintain an horizontal connection. And Baba used to very slightly touch it in Sakar Mulis, but here I think I liked when you were sharing, that was what was running through my mind. Don't become yogis of one another. And this is a deeper meaning, yogis, rather than just saying don't, what is that called? There's a हिंदी वर्ड फॉर इट बाबा इज सेइंग नाम और शान में किसी के नाम और शाम में फंस जाना you can like but don't start having yoga means still a deeper connection more than just first jhana that was something I like but after reading the Murli I was just saying that we should have a pledge I whatever type of Brahmin I am whether I was created through Brahma Baba's thoughts, or whether I was created through the mouth of Brahma. I, Brahma Mukha Brahma Kumari, take this pledge of transforming myself to love. And the last paragraph, if you see Vinod Bhai, he has given so much action plan. There were a lot of action plan which he has given you after he comes to the cards and mails and all.
Yes.
Baba says, write down your weaknesses, means giving it to Baba, writing it down. And once you have taken it, don't take it away. Like these children, what they do, they go to God. And there's a very nice poem, I think it's called as Broken Wings. The child goes to God and say, please come and mend my wings and all. but it never allowed God to do its job and kept interfering in his job. I think that's one thing where Baba is given over here. Don't even recall your weaknesses in your thoughts. Don't be disheartened. No upheaval. Look at the Father in combined form. Fly ahead. Remove your burdens. Be cooperative. So if you see a lot of action plan and do not think too much. And even in that, he suddenly jumps to waste thoughts. And I agree to that reading a Murli. I love reading the Murli. I love underlining it. I love writing it. And I love to see its inner meaning. So I think I liked that last paragraph, which was like,
Yeah.
and as usually goes to what I call it as pure feelings and good wishes for all. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti. So just adding there, checking and change. That was one thing like Gizapan had covered already. Changing the waste thoughts to best, going through the Murli. And also sometimes that helps when you're finding difficulty to connect to Baba. So mostly it would be because when we busy with the worldly matters, right? So whether it could be work or anything else, and to when you sit in meditation, that's when this all will pop up in your mind. So it becomes difficult to establish that divine connection with the Supreme. So that's where this techniques help me a lot in my personal experience to read and pick up some of the points and churn over it. That really works. And Baba also highlighted never be disheartened with your own sanskars or the atmosphere or the gathering. So sometimes that happens, right? When we put effort to reach a point, and when we don't get there, we sometimes kind of give up, disheartened, right? So Baba says never become that. I mean, just the sanskars are of it's a long birth sanskar, so it takes time. So you have to continue work on it, and eventually that will take its form. It will help us to be. I mean, it's going to help us to get our stage better, and there will be progress. Any effort that we make, it will definitely give some result. If not today, then definitely tomorrow. Yeah, so that's the main point I wanted to share. Thank you. Om Shanti.
I recall here a lot of patients these days present with the process of thinking itself. They say it is overthinking. बहुत सारे thoughts आते हैं, बहुत सारे thoughts आते हैं. The best thing I have learned from Baba's girl is to say that mind is meant to think, and those thoughts would come. I only to categorize them as waste or positive or necessary or unnecessary. And then now you develop an awareness whether you are having a waste thought or a good thought or a necessary thought. And now Baba gives a solution to that waste thought also. Write it and give it to me. It's over, it's no more yours. And once you do that, do not recall that same thought. And if it still pops up, then read a Murli, which we consider to be very, very pure one and an elevated one. And one or the other point would stick in if you read it multiple times. Naturally, it's going to change that repetitive thought that's running in the mind and is going to be replaced with a pure and a positive one. So sooner or later, the frequency and the speed with which such thoughts are coming would stop. The thoughts usually, I mean, they're just not in a plain mind that it comes. It's compounded in the form of either an image or a thought, sound, or the same thought coming in form of just nothing but a thought. So all of these are are certain forms that can disempower one. That Baba says that will make you weak. Do not think much and much. So that is a very, very deep concept of psychology, neuropsychiatry, and psychiatry. I feel Baba knows so much about the mind of children, and he has apt solutions to heal people.
And one more thing.
Maybe-
Uh, uh,
Yes, sister.
No, go ahead. You were saying something.
uh, in here, I want to say the one point is that aware. You have said the awareness. And here one thing that to to
Mhm.
get that weakness, just to stop that thought, first important thing is required to miss full stop. Remembrance. The power, the Baba said that the remembrance, the full stop, bindi, we have to stop the bindi, full stop we have to do. And after everything will become easy. Om Shanti.
Yeah, that's a very powerful statement and a powerful stage to arrive at a point, a very great point to arrive at. Yeah, sister. Also, the lucidity of human relationships. Baba did use the word remembrance. Do not have remembrance of one another and connect them to Baba. The why the the organizations fail or why the human interactions are actually very fragile or very lucid. It's because humans connect to human, but this organization teaches us to remain ever empowered. Once we get the taste of empowerment, it's just a one-way movement. We keep moving up and up. But Baba sooner or later cautions that this interaction should be with the Supreme, the powerhouse, not the house or its members. So that way, I feel this is a very unique organization.
Om Shanti.
Yes, Sister Om Shanti.
I don't know. I think some disturbance there was in my phone. I like this one part, which in that action, as I call that paragraph as action plan Murli, burn the burden of past with happiness. I don't know whether it was a Sunday Murli where Baba said, let past be past. And whenever that comes, I always used to hum that song in that Bollywood song, Mud Mudke Na Dekh Mud Mudke. And Baba in that Murli had said, don't turn back. Why are you turning back? The whole Murli was of that only in the Sunday Murli. Um, when already the Maya has left her gates and gone, What is that which makes you look and look behind? Why don't you look forward? I think when this one sentence I read in this Murli, I was just thinking about the Sunday Murli. The whole paragraph Baba had really, the whole process he had given. So I could really take that particular point and I could practice it to see that day if something happens, did my mind race to what had happened, or did my mind race to, come on, let me jump over? Similarly, I think when there's writing weaknesses, it's not easy, brother. It's not easy to write weaknesses. They also say during Holi, write your weaknesses and go and put it in the fire. And then again you should not. And Mama has always said, ek galti do baar nahi karna. But practically speaking, as we human souls, I've seen maybe 30% it is possible, one or two weaknesses, which are very gross weakness, we may not repeat. But I have never succeeded myself, to be honest, that I write down the weakness, I keep it in Amritvela in front of Baba. But that process, as you said, is something very this. Like this process of burning the past, when I read the Sunday Murli, gave me a little kind of practical approach. Don't have waste thoughts. Absolutely not possible, Baba. So it does come up in my mind, little, some percentage. No, I was just churning the relationship between what Baba said and the practical possibility. There lies, I think, the effort. That was what I just wanted to share from that paragraph. Om Shanti.
Yes, sister, totally agree. You know, and I feel, Papa's children have a reservoir of knowledge, a reservoir of power within themselves, a sense of self-counseling. It's already there with them. As you mentioned, it transcended from one level to another level. You 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 said about the awareness of presence of something and the methodology to burn it. The methodology would become faster. Like you said, write them down, burn it down, give it to Baba. It becomes faster and faster. Sooner or later, it would go away. And honestly, even in this movie, it was amazing that Baba was telling double foreigners to not even feel disheartened about their own sanskars. I mean, to a certain extent, probably the students go back and they would not remember. There is no physical presence of anybody. So, out of sight, out of mind, the sanskars of others or the atmosphere would go away. But you are living with oneself. We are living with our own self, and now our own sanskars would come in front of us. Baba, even for that matter, Baba even says that do not feel disheartened about it. It is okay. So once I just shared an example, even at our center here, for the first time, I had gotten instruction that if you have any weakness, write them down and burn it in fire. So once I happened to do that, that shows that I had some. Baba, I literally felt the glow of that, uh, the flame itself again made me feel, yes, now I'm connecting to Baba. I don't know why I got one, but I literally felt that, yes, I have lit something that makes me remember Baba. So I connected and that particular thing went off. I don't recall anything now, what I had written, but I feel that something changed there. So I feel that Baba gives a staged manner of empowering ourselves, and yes, it is the way ahead for everybody. It's kind of a therapy.
Yeah, thank you for me to know there is someone also sailing in my boat. I just used to just think, am I a lone person? But even here, if you see, I remember when I did my SML in the Brahma Kumaris with the Brian Bai, he used to give, he said, change and transformation. There are two things. Baba just a check and change. I think had he used the word transform, like a big transformer, it would have really transformed. See, here even in this Murli, when he goes up, he speaks to the double foreigners, power of love, power of transformation. I think what we need is transformation. That is totally, I think, the highest level of change. But as Baba just very lightly puts it, check and change. We just take the change. But I think we should underline the word, or we should substitute the word change to transformation. It's just a process, but I don't think it absolutely goes off. I would just become karmatit very soon. Om Shanti.
I also liked how Baba mentioned repeatedly about zeal and enthusiasm and providing cooperation to others. And that's the very essential statement in humanity, that you interact with others. That's when you can then next cooperate and no matter what happens, empower others, cooperate with others to make them powerful. So in the initial part today, in the second part, Baba did tell that do not just become powerful by your own self, but accumulate so much of power that you can now cooperate with others to provide sustenance to them, that they can become powerful too. So that melts the barrier of resentment or disconnection with others, or having all those vikars, jealousy, anger, that removes all of these things, which usually pop in when human uh, interactions occur. Despite any of them, Baba encourages us to have that zeal and enthusiasm and power to provide cooperation again. And these are the only things that can actually bridge human relationships.
But
Um,
Vinod, I just have a sudden thought. You know, this whole last paragraph, I think Baba should have made it more positive. See, I don't know if you
Mhm.
have read this book, The Power of the Present, by Dr. Eckhart Tolle. Instead of saying, don't be disheartened, don't remember the past, don't do have waste thoughts, don't do this. He could have really just made it be in the present, be happy. Um, Instead of saying defect weaknesses, have pure wishes and good feelings. I think a positive approach for me more would really make me not even remember the other don'ts. I think too much of don'ts and all really makes the mind to do it again. Maybe I think if a positive approach was taken from that, do, that I think, because I really love that book, The Power of the Present by Dr. Eckhart Tolle. I was just thinking maybe I should take it in that way because that's what Baba wants. Baba wants looks only for the positive. I don't. I was just when I was reading it, that word "don't" I didn't. I thought I should just cancel, delete it.
That's correct, sister. I think then
uh,
Baba mentions that read Murli 2 to 3 times. I think that's one frame kind of a statement that Baba makes in the tone that you said in a positive way. That read Murli 2 to 3 times. Otherwise, Baba was more or less saying in the way you say, don't do this, but that's a very nice thing. Baba did tell in one statement.
yeah, Om Shanti. So one thought about the weaknesses that we all so it's very important, right? I was also thinking about the weaknesses to understand my own weaknesses. That's really a great task because unless I don't understand my own weaknesses, it's very difficult for me to change or transform them. Because I would not know where I have to transmit, because most of the people, especially even people who are living in Kali, they also think that they are perfect, right? Even Jnani souls also think the same. What is there for me to change? I find everything perfect, the way I do things. So, uh, but we know that in reality, nobody is perfect. Everybody is in that journey to become perfect, right? But unless we don't do a thorough checking, for the self, we will not be able to find our weaknesses. So, the way that we have to do the checking, I suppose, at the day begin, we have to check whether how is the day going, or every 1 hour at least we have to check what is that my state of mind, how is it going, am I being disturbed by others, or am I is my state of mind easy, or am I disturbed seeing others action, am I seeing others defect, or am I is my mind um, bringing any waste thoughts, or any thought that which is, that happened in the past, which is coming in the form of thoughts and bothering me. All that is weaknesses, right? Because I am not able to, rule over or channelize my thoughts to a direction that I wish. So that is also one of my inability, where I am not able to rule over the self, right? So, and when I come into action with others, right, am I accepting that person the way he is, or am I not happy with the way he is interacting? All that is weaknesses, right? There are so many things that we can find within us if we deeply do a thorough checking to understand our weaknesses. There are so many areas that we need to improve upon. We'll get that list. It'll be a very big list. And in case if you have done any sort of mistakes in the past, right, sometimes that also will come up in the form of thoughts. And yeah, so those things I think we can write it to Baba, and eventually that will get cleared from the subconscious mind, and we will be freed from that to some extent. Um, right. So I'm just thought I'm
Very true.
sharing. Yeah, thank you.
I wish at this lecture, this discussion goes on because it's really very much related to the existence of oneself, which many people have left far behind and gone into many different realms of higher sciences, higher living, business. I mean, leaving their very own existential understanding, reading into very higher things and getting into jobs and doing 24/7 jobs that has taken them away from themselves. So it takes, but that very new thing pops up again every day, every minute for that matter. We live with ourselves, and the root and the seed of it is this knowledge. If one changes it, though the process towards the success is not far away, but at least we are able to be happy at heart. For
And
me, yes, correct.
yeah, and if everything is going okay, you see everything is going okay, but still I'm not remembering Baba. That is also a weakness, right? You see, there's no problem with me or with others when I come into, action with others. So everything going okay, but still, if I'm not able to remember Baba, I'm unable to maintain that balance when I'm coming into action, right? The balance of remembrance has to be there, right?
Right.
Then that is also not, that is also my weaknesses. I'm not able to do that, means that is also a weakness. So which means uh, I have to I have to make myself powerful to do that, right? So that means
Yes,
um, a lot of improvement required. Okay, so 1 hour or not even 1 hour is required for us to evaluate all that. Less than 1 hour should be okay. So if we check the whole day, there'll be a lot of things that we can, that will come in the list, which we can work upon. Yeah.
To
So
start,
when we do that, there's definitely going to be a lot of change, right? Change will only happen when we check, right? When we identify certain things, then we will replace it with others. Good things. Yeah. Thank you, brother.
that the charge thing is actually a very powerful practice. Uh, At night, once you give your charge, you know where you have to improve. And next day, you try to make one or the other thing. Like for me, the Swaman part of it, Baba says at least remember it 21 times. No, I remember that. Now I progress. Now this day I know that I have just remembered it lesser. But yes, the journey is on. I know many people are following this journey, and that is the journey of life. So in a way, today's movie was very great. I wish this movie is churned more in days to come. If there are no any announcements, maybe move into meditation, brother.
Yeah, sure.
साधना और शिक्षा वही है, मधुबन की हर रीत वही। सबके दिलों में पल रही है, बाबा तुम्हारी प्रीत वही। तुमसे ही है जीवन में, जीवन में, जीवन में खुशियाँ सारे संसार की आज भी देते हो बाबा, पालना साकार की आज भी देते हो बाबा, पालना साकार की। सेवा में सदा साथ का अनुभव सबको कराते रहते हो। अव्यक्त रूप से भी बाबा वरदान देते रहते हो। वसुंधरा पे गूंज रही, गूंज रही, गूंज रही महिमा तेरे उपकार की आज भी देते हो बाबा, पालना साकार की आज भी देते हो बाबा, पालना साकार की। भर के जाते सब यहाँ से झोली तेरे प्यार की आज भी देते हो बाबा, पालना साकार की आज भी देते हो बाबा, पालना साकार की पालना साकार की पालना साकार की।
Hi, ever wished you could finish a book in a
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Vinod Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 am. Until then, have a lovely day.